As Helsinki came out of the cave, he felt the cool rush of air. The beasts of the forest were gone. Pulling out his GPS, he located another strange blip on the screen. He found yet another cave. He wondered if his comrades could be in here. The smell of death permeated the air as he rounded the corner. These bitches were D-E-A-D, dead. Helsinki searched their pockets. They didn't have much, but every little bit helps.
Popton refuses to acknowledge what this place is. And even counting with what my team has been finding on the other side of the island, surveyors going missing, our workers turning up dead. If he won't deal with the situation, I will.
This is one of our first clues as to what is happening on the island. Did you understand what he just said?
No.
I sure didn't. It seems Puffton is ignoring the strange events on the island. Maybe he is so rich that the real world has no real effect on him. It's the same way as our rich celebrities behave. They live in their own bubble, and they expect everyone to have the same bubble, but they don't. As a matter of fact, the rich like to pop the other bubbles. Me, I like bubbles. I like to blow bubbles. I play with the bubbles in the bathtub. Once entering the cave, a strange sense of dread fell over him. What is this? A skin purse or wallet? I wonder what might be inside of it. Shadows danced from the eerie glow of his lighter.
It smells bad in here. Of course, there's death all around me, so I imagine that's why it would smell bad. What do you say? I would anyways. Some rope? Okay.
The dank smell of the cave loomed over him like a giant turd. Body parts hung from the ceiling like they were being hung on a drying rack. It was pretty disgusting, but it gave Helsinki an idea. Our clever hero is using his brain. He is making bone armor. Fantastically brilliant, I must say. Geared up with a boner and now bone armor. What could stop our hero now? Let's not answer that, shall we? Helsinki tested the water. It tasted vile, as though someone took a giant shit right into the water. He drifted further into the cave. It felt like he was being watched. Each step was calculated. The cave floor was slippery.
This leads up. Hello? So much echo in here. It just leads out like, oh my god. What is this? Oh, shit.
Helsinki wasn't finding his comrades. He wasn't finding anything at all, really, until he came across a strange blueprint. It turns out this is a blueprint for a glider launcher. He didn't know it then, but later he would figure it out.
There's not much in the cave. Hello?
He decided he had better get out. He was starting to get a headache. He thought he might come back later when he had better gear. As for now, though, he had to find his comrades. As he exited the cave, the light overwhelmed him. After adjusting to the light, he opened his phone and located another blip on the screen. Hopefully, this would lead to better results. After gathering his bearings, he set out, coming across another poisonous plant. He gathered them, knowing they would come in handy later.
I'm getting close.
There were those creatures all over the forest. Helsinki did his best to avoid them. He hadn't the strength or health to take them on.
Seems like they're everywhere.
He was getting closer to the marker. Helsinki, however, was getting worried. He noticed the marker didn't move at all. He compared it to Kelvin's marker. It didn't move hardly at all either. Well, because Kelvin was lazy, but it did move from time to time. This marker hadn't moved since he found it on the phone.
We're almost there. Should be right here. I'm not seeing it though. Finding booze. Where is it? Where are they?
He arrived. The GPS indicated he was right here, but Helsinki saw nothing. But then, he looked up.
Oh shit.
Oh my God. He was wearing Nike shoes. You never wear Nike shoes out in the forest like this. Someone should have taught him to dress better. It's too late now, though. The bitch looks dead as shit. If he had worn the proper shoes, he might still be alive. Maybe he realized his wardrobe error and hung himself. Helsinki had to know. He thought he had better cut him down. At least loot his ass. The journey upward was difficult to say the least, but he did make it up. He couldn't tell quite where he was, so he opened his GPS again. After relocating the signal, Helsinki went straight toward it. His head was on a swivel. He was prepared for whatever may jump out at him. Upon reaching the destination, Helsinki first grabbed all the loot available.
More booze.
It was mostly liquor, but even that has loads of good uses. The main use is to get drunk. I'm sure he will find other uses later. After cutting down his dead comrade, Helsinki attempted to get down. As he did, he saw more creatures. The creatures began to give chase, so Helsinki turned around and went down the way he came. Once back down, he could hear the creatures yell in disgust as Helsinki slipped from their sight. He had to be careful though, they sounded pretty hungry. Helsinki snuck along the route, his eyes scanning the area, his heart in his throat. He could feel the hairs rise on his arms. Reaching the body, Helsinki knelt down, careful not to bring attention to himself, as those monsters surely wanted a piece of his meaty ass.
A flashlight? That's good. Come in handy in the caves. GPS locator.
He looted the dead body. Looking at his mangled face, Helsinki surmised it might have been Frank. That would explain the wardrobe debacle. Helsinki evaded even more creatures as he snuck down the side of the mountain. Just then, he saw something very peculiar. He saw red smoke from a flare. Someone was alive down there, and he had to get down there to help them. Helsinki's heart raced. Were they being terrorized like he had been since crashing onto this island? Getting down wasn't easy, but he did the best he could. He was closer now. He could almost smell the burn of the powder. He ran as quick as he could, nearly busting an ankle. Closer still, he could hear the faint sounds of music. Sweat poured down the sides of his face. He could see an arm wave. He was alive.
He's alive.
Shit. He could see the blood pour out his wound as the man slowly drifted into Death's arms. It was strange to see the life float away like that. Helsinki reached over and turned off the music. Everyone was dead here.
Everyone's dead. Floating in the water. My lord. What has happened here? What is happening to us?
Helsinki did find medicine, though. After taking one, he was beginning to feel better.
Duct tape.
He thoroughly looted the place, finding all kinds of interesting things you wouldn't expect to find out in the forest like this. A rather large axe. This would come in handy. Helsinki took it. Then there was another strange note.
Who's Jack Holt? What is he doing here? Buffton didn't have any friends.
Who the hell is Jack Holt? The puzzle was getting complex.
The mystery deepens. I need to find the rest of my comrades, but where? Where are they? It's getting late. I must settle down for the evening, I think. Creatures everywhere.
It was beginning to get late. Helsinki was debating on whether to stay here among the dead or head back to Deadhead Kelvin. It was a toss-up. He couldn't carry everything he had, so he began to combine things. Another hidden talent he had was making bombs.
Time to MacGyver this shit. There we go. There's space for a few more things. Motherfucker.
Shit was about to get real. Helsinki began to second-guess his decision to stay, though the longer he waits, the tougher it will be. The creatures were closing in. He wanted to end their approach before it began. Let's wait to see what happens.
Let's check the rest of these boxes. I feel them all around me. There. Pick up a few sticks. Almost like the hills have eyes. The trees have eyes in this case. Come here, you. Oh, what's this?
Helsinki began to tense up. The monsters entered the area, getting closer. He raised his axe, showing the beast what would be coming to him if he persisted. Anger sprouted from Helsinki's face. He was tired and weak, but he was at his wits' end. He had had enough. He charged the creature, meaning to put an end to his life. The creature was evasive and climbed into the tree, taunting him. Helsinki raised his axe and, with sheer determination, took a huge chunk from the tree. He was not going to allow the beast to leave. The beast mocked him and farted, spraying particle shards downward, causing Helsinki to nearly pass out. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, Helsinki shouted. Helsinki gonna have to whip up on that ass now. There is no way this creature will flee from him now. Then,
where the hell did he go?
the beast was gone, just gone. After sharding on Helsinki, the monster just disappeared. As the evening grew darker, Helsinki decided to make a small campfire.
It's getting late. I'm tired.
He began to think that maybe he had made a bad decision by staying here. As he sat down next to the campfire, his imagination began playing tricks on him. In a panic, he shot up and pulled his phone from his pocket. He tried contacting Kelvin, but there was only static. Was Kelvin all right? He was beginning to panic more now. The forest appeared to loom over him as if it wanted to swallow him whole. Bad decisions tend to occur in a panic situation. What was Helsinki to do? The shadows and sounds seemed to creep towards him. Sweat poured from his face. The beasts of the forest poked through the trees, their shadows revealing their location. They were waiting for an opening. With the sun nearly setting, Helsinki started to run his already tired ass back to base. The question is, will he make it? Out of breath, Helsinki decided to take a quick break. Suddenly, a monster was right there. Helsinki jumped back in fright, but as he did, he noticed the woman he had seen earlier. She was a little ways down the path. Helsinki didn't know what to do. He pulled out his flashlight and approached the woman. Would she be his Medusa? He didn't know. What he did know was that it was her and him in the middle of the forest with these monsters. Helsinki attempted communication,
Hello?
knowing the creatures were circling him.
Come here.
It didn't go well.
It's all right. Oh,
The woman ran away, then ran by Helsinki in a panic. She signaled to stay
Hey.
back.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you.
It was obvious she was scared too.
All right, hold
She
on.
pointed at something in the woods. Helsinki drew back the axe and went in.
Where is it? Oh, shit.
Helsinki brought the axe down hard on the creature. She didn't suffer long.
It's gone.
Looking back,
It's-
he saw the
it's
woman
all right.
backpedaling.
Hey, it's all right.
She had witnessed a murder.
It's okay.
She drew away, cowering back among the trees. The creatures continued to circle him.
Hey,
He He looked away for just a moment, and when he looked back, she was gone. The creatures began to close in. Helsinki raised the mighty axe and wailed on another beast who looked as though he were beginning to eat the bitch he killed just moments ago.
She's gone.
The forest was closing in tighter. Helsinki ran, the light guiding his path. Fear had overtaken him. Would he make it back to camp? And if he did, would Kelvin be all right?